Hi everyone, it's Lucinda Curran here from Eco Health Solutions. I'm just dumping in, I can't speak straight, just ducking in to share with you a few ideas for if or when you have to travel. The first thing I did when I got to my hotel room was to look out, the very first thing I did was to stop and sniff. And every room that I go to, I always check the smell of it. Can I smell mold? Are the fragrance levels too high? What can I smell? Is this something I'm going to cope with? This is now my fourth room, and I found a room I'm going to stay in for the night. So here's the very first thing that I did. I came in and I opened up the windows. So you get a pretty yucky view out the window. It's very noisy and it's not the greatest smell, but I've opened up all of the windows so that it's nice and, a lot fresher than what it was beforehand, because they do spray things in these rooms. The next thing I did once I'd done the sniff was to have a look out the window. So as you can see, I can't see any single phone towers out there. The reason this is my fourth room is because I did the check, and every single one of the other rooms, the phone towers were ridiculously close, like they were on the building straight across the road, and that's not okay. So here I want to show you my bed. I'm now set up for the night, which is fantastic. Obviously, hotels have Wi-Fi and all sorts of things like that, and so do guests. They're using whatever they use. So what I do is I bring a whole few layers of shielding, because I find the couple that I was traveling with wasn't enough. So here on the bed, you can see I've kind of made a little nest around the top there for my bed, or my pillow. So that's the pillow there that I'll be sleeping on, and these two are holding up the net, which goes right down to the base here, so that it's actually covering the pillows. I'm going to pull that down a little bit more when I get in. So this is shielding fabric that will actually block out radio frequencies, this white net, and I've chosen this one not for its shielding properties, but because it's much more breathable. So I think you might be able to hear the train noises outside. I'll just try and close the windows while I'm talking to you. So that's the first thing. I always have the net over the top because it does help me to be able to breathe through the shielding. I'm certainly one who needs lots of fresh air. Then underneath the covers, the other tip here is that I've weighted it down with the the decorative bit of fabric that they put on the bed. So hopefully that'll stay put for the night. Now moving back to the top of the bed, if I pull back the covers, you can see I've got some shielding fabric. This has actually got a grounding cable on it, which you can see I've plugged in. This is a grounding cable that I've had made up. These are the Eco Health Solutions ones. They've got a lot of copper here in the wire. They're not just a really piddly thin thing, they're really decent. And so the reason I've got it attached to this grey fabric is the grey fabric deals with radio frequencies, so from wireless technology, as well as electric fields. And because it deals with electric fields, I have to ground it. Now this is attached, this beautiful copper wire, I love it, is attached to the plug, and you can see it is only attached to one pin in the plug, and that's the earth pin. And that means we don't need to turn it on because it's just using the earthing of the building to earth it. So that's my second layer. This is actually top and bottom, so I've got I'll be sleeping in between it, and then I've also got a layer of another shielding fabric here to sleep on top of as well. So that means top and bottom I've got two layers of shielding fabric to protect me from all the radio frequencies and the elevated electric fields in the hotel room. So that's a few of my tips. So always I walk in the room, I'll just turn it around again, excuse me too, because I've been traveling all day, so I'm looking a bit scrawny and scruffy. But basically the first thing that I do when I walk in a room is I sniff it. Is it going to be suitable? Are the smells something I can cope with? Is there mold? Because if I walk in and I get hit with mold, I'm walking straight back out again, because I'm not going to cope overnight. Absolutely no way. So I go back down to reception and say, hey, look guys, I need another room. There's too much mold in that room for me. I want to change rooms. And so the guys here were really, really, really patient with me and let me get onto my fourth room. And they said to me, this is the last one. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but you know, we've got sort of a few options. So first thing is that. The second thing I note is looking out the windows. Can I see any phone towers? But even sort of in that interim stage as I'm arriving in the room, one of the things I found is that if there's phone towers nearby, I actually stagger. Like it's like I'm drunk or I've been whacked by something, and I kind of stagger around the room a bit. If I'm feeling that, I'm straight out again as well. So the smell and the staggering, so I'm counting here, the smell and the staggering are the two things I look for first and foremost in a hotel room when I turn up. When I found one that meets both of those, I'm looking out the window and checking for phone towers, seeing if there's anything visible, anything nearby. I've also learnt to check out the windows, looking up at the sides of the building as well, from that other hotel I stayed in that had phone towers encrusted all over the side of it. Once I've accepted a room, I'll then open up all the windows and I'll set up my shielding. I go around and unplug things like microwaves, and anything that's not going to be used, I unplug it and turn off everything that's not necessary, so that it's as quiet electrically as it can be and the air is as fresh as it can be. So yeah, a few tips for you that might help you when you're traveling. So I hope that's useful. Love to hear your comments. Love to hear from you about things that you find that are useful. And yeah, please share. Please talk to me about what you think as well. I hope you have a fantastic time, and I'll catch up with you again soon. See you later.